Main event: Hangman Page against Kyle Fletcher. The winner gets Will Ospreay. I think when they book this out on paper, I guess the idea is supposed to be, oh, it can go either way, or whatever, because Fletcher and Ospreay have done it a bunch of times. But I'm like, they blew their feud off already. Like, you don't, they're not doing that again. Like, this was always going to be Hangman versus Ospreay here. I like this match a lot. I thought the finishing idea was great. I thought the crowd like bought it hook, line, and sinker that they were about to get fucked. And then like the two buckshots at the end, really loved it. I thought Heyman felt big in this moment. Pause. But
Go ahead, Rich.
But
childish, man.
It was just it's a really great tournament, man. Really good tournament, and we're locked in with Page versus Ospreay now. The match that I think the last year of AEW has kind of been circling around and leading to. It was all they was all going to have to go against each other at some point, but look, I can't really get invested in this. Like, perhaps if I felt like one of them was actually going to win at All In, I would be a little more excited here. But
so I watched this match in the last 2 hours, and I thought this match was Fletcher and Hangman. I thought the match was fucking great, and I thought it was great because like it was great in a way. Of late, AEW TV matches have not been. It was a more traditional pro wrestling match as opposed to an indie fest. None wrong with what happened in the opening match of Dynamite. That match was fucking great. But it was like, it felt like in a way we haven't seen a match like this since like Danielson's retired, where it's like this is a match that is at a certain pace and it's just going to build and get better and better and better. Like it's on a slow cooker, and it's just like the pressure's building, and like it just all of a sudden it's just awesome, right? I just love this match. And like I think it's the first time I remember seeing, like, Ospreay has tons of these matches. Don't let no one fool you. He has tons of matches that build like this too. But like Fletcher being in the Ospreay world, if you will, for a lot of his run in AEW, it feels like he only knows how to wrestle like almost like a high speed style, to an extent, or the Ospreay, Sugar Rush style. And it's like, it's nice to know that like, oh, he can also do this. It's fun to know that. So Hangman in there, I mean, it was just like, it was just so fun. And then all of a sudden, like in the way that like Fletcher saved like those running kicks that he does towards the end of the match too. It had more effect. I love the match. It was fucking awesome. Like that shit made me 4 3/4. That shit was great.
I think that's what they gave it. I think.
Okay, that shit was great, bro. I love that match. Yeah. It was like, those two could have went out there and had a laser light show, but they decided we'll say that for some other time. We can do that some other time. But we can do this hard hitting style, and like I feel like, obviously, Heyman can wrestle in any style, but like I feel like in this match in particular, he leaned in on the brawler, and it wasn't like it. I mean, like the actual like punishing baby face. It was fun. It was fun. I mean, what more can you say about Hangman in the ring, man?
Bro, the nigga's like
he's one of the best of his generation, and like he's gonna go down as one of the best ever if he stays healthy or still wants to do this.
Yeah, man. Like,
if he's not already there in your eyes,
if
you're someone that's still on the fence about him, nah, man. If you're one of these people that listen to our show thinks the empty-headed dumb fuck, I'm sorry.
I think what I like about Heyman,
once that bell goes ding ding ding, stars start flying out the sky.
You can put him with anybody, as you mentioned, any style,
anybody, any. I would love to see him wrestle Bret Hart. Oh my god!
Bro, I can't think of a great wrestler that'd be like, I don't really think it would go like
maybe the thing would be like bigger guys. It might be too goofy looking or whatever else. But
Heyman
even then, it was
McIntyre. That would fucking rule. Heyman versus Walter.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, a guy that won. I mean,
Undertaker,
because those styles are compatible. No, the styles are compatible. But I mean, like him versus like I don't know. Like I don't know if him versus Scott Norton would be the most fun thing in the world. You know what I'm saying?
He got something out of Warlow
Him
back
versus
in the
Scott
day.
Steiner, I don't know if that'd be the most fun thing in the world.
But
he could have absolute slobberknockers with McIntyre because obviously the eras match up in the style. Yeah,
Hangman
those two guys who match them style. Yeah,
Hangman versus Vader would have been incredible, Haven. Because the thing is, Vader,
he would have relied on story on that one. It's supposed to just go out there and just guns blazing against a dude that's way bigger than him. Like for example, right? I think him versus Prime Samoa Joe would have been fucking awesome.
Right.
Him versus Prime Samoa Joe would have been fucking awesome.
Him versus Kurt Angle.
But I don't know how good it would have been. But I don't know how good how much I would have liked or how weird it would have been to see him at this stage right now, right? Him versus Prime Kenta Kobashi, it would have been great. But would it have been Hangman ain't really about the high neck drop shit necessarily. He'll do it, but he don't love it.
He did it.
Yeah, he'll do it, but he don't love it, right?
I mean, Hangman and Takeshita is basically like the modern version of that. So, and that shit ruled too.
yeah, but Takeshita got more indie in him than Kobashi does. Kobashi got CTE in him. Actually, it ain't CTE. Is I don't care if I die.
I'll die in this ring.
If someone dies, someone dies. It is what it is.
So, Ospreay versus Hangman at Double or Nothing. I think it's Will. That's
where
winning.
do you set the over/under on the star rating, Rich? 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5.
No, the Dave Meltzer star rating. The Dave Meltzer. I'm saying that shit at 5.5.
5.5 minimum. I think we're talking about here.
This is nuts.
And then we're gonna go from there. It depends on what the finish is. If they decide to fuck with the finish, if this is a clean match, 5.5. Your star.
I forgot about the MJF factor.
I don't know if they're gonna do that.
I mentioned it earlier. Forgot that quick.
To shoot you some bail. I don't know if they're gonna do that. That could happen after the match. It could happen. Whatever. I don't know. I would prefer if it's a clean match for obvious reasons. I would just rather I don't want to have people be like they fucked them and it feels like whoever win didn't earn it. It's like if you're gonna crown a tournament winner, let the tournament winner fucking win. And they've been good at that. They have not fucked tournament winners out. They might do shit like in the C2 where there's bullshit finishes along the way, but in the final, they're not gonna do that.
Well, some people would disagree and say that when Danielson hit Page with that schoolboy, it was a outright robbery and it was goddamn injustice. Some people are these people normal people that are working in good faith? I don't necessarily think so, but when they messaged me about this, oh boy. When Trish and Sarah and Tunnel Top messaged me about this, oh boy.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
They was pissed. Remember how pissed they were? Oh my goodness.
I mean,
you would have thought Danielson shot him with a gun in the middle of the ring.
I mean, look in this promotion. They seem to think that doing a roll up is protection or whatever. So, but I think there's a disconnect with fans that see that as bullshit. So it's I don't know, because I think that's WWE training, and I know some people didn't watch WWE for that, and but when people do these roll up finishes, they're kind of designed. And newsflash, I remember when Toni Storm started doing that thing as a rookie, it was a good way for her to do the same to beat people without really quote unquote beating them too,
right?
And then
without finishing them,
yeah. That's just how she beat Megan Bain.
Right, Rich.
What's up?
Nikola Jokic tonight. He is the fourth person in a playoff game to ever have 40 points, 20 rebounds, and 5 assists. The last person to do it was Giannis. The time before that was Shaq. The other 2 times were Wilt. 40-25.
Look, man, I'm rooting for the Nuggets, bro. I'm rooting for the Nuggets. I want Russ to get one so bad. I want Russ to get one. Ride that big, where's he from?
Serbia.
Ride the Serbian over there. You know,
I'm glad you stopped yourself. You like, boy, if you had just brought out what you were saying, I was like, that shit finna sound racist as fuck. Ride that big what? The what? Excuse me, sir. They be like, they need to stop this show and show apology. They also need to say pause at the same time. Like,
so how much is Ospreay and Heyman gonna blow the fan base up?
oh boy.
C4 nasty. Like, I don't think it could be worse than last. Look, I don't know. I think last year, the caution and the warnings about last year, I feel like it was warranted still. But
here's what I'm gonna say. If you are a person that believes that this belt is being saved until Darby comes down from that fucking mountain, then you may as well just say, let Ospreay win this one. Because you don't want... Because I think that the Hangman stand base, his stomach losing to Will Ospreay. They cannot stomach losing to this version of Jon Moxley. That might be their final straw. That might be their 13th reason why.
You know, I feel like it's the other way around for some reason. Because Mox isn't necessarily...
While you beat Ospreay in the biggest match he's ever had in his career up to that point in that arena?
I think that Mox isn't necessarily a contemporary of Hangman's and Ospreay's competition to him. And like...
But you know they're going to wrestle again like 500 times.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. But
unless Hangman hangs it up, they're going to wrestle. They're going to see each other again the same way that like people were talking about, Hangman and MJF. Like it's been 5 years, that they've been, away from each other. Now they keep coming back to each other. Like, yeah, they're eventually going to have their time together. It's just someone has to win the first one.
Yeah. I don't know. If it's me, I'm not wasting either of these fucking guys on Jon Moxley. I think it's tragic. It's a tragic end for both of them, and I don't think.
What do? You strip him of the belt. You strip him of the belt with no loss, and no injury. You say, "Hey, fuck it, we take the belt off you because you sucked." And
look, Okada and Omega is actually unifying that shit and starting a new belt, like at All In.
Oh my god.
But
look, you know how nasty that would be to kill the title lineage of the AEW World Championship because of the Jon Moxley bad reign, but not the CM Punk shit. That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they're playing with all right. 'Cause I think Will Ospreay's gonna win, right? In that case, I think they're playing with fire with Ospreay. Like, I think they need to just fuck around and get to it. Like, and I think
that's my thing, right? If Ospreay, I believe that Ospreay wins, like the odds of him leaving with the belt are higher than Hangman if he were to win and then go to All in Texas.
One more time, repeat that.
Okay, so I think the odds of so if Ospreay wins at Double or Nothing, I think his odds of leaving with the AEW World Title at All in Texas are higher than Hangman's if Hangman were to win this match at Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be people gonna be in this like, you really gonna do this? After we had these matches in fucking Wembley at All In, he's Mr. All In basically, and now you finna beat this dude after he put over Swerve last year and been a good soldier, putting people over left and right, and all these big and these high leverage moments all these times, and now he's finna lose. After he just helped make Fletcher a guy for you, it's time for him to lose.
It's a bad idea, bro. It's a bad idea. They should not let it happen. No, someone should stand up backstage and be willing to quit the company over beating Will Ospreay at All In. I'ma just say it. Somebody needs to stand
you
up.
You can honestly make the same case for Hangman. I'm just saying, like, at least Hangman's been around enough to where, like, he'd be like, all right, man. Like, apparently it's never happening for you again, or it's never happened to you again in this circumstance. It's for somebody else. But other people would be like, hey man, this Darby shit is not harder than what Will Ospreay's doing. I'm sorry. Get out of here.
Yeah. And it's like,
and you can also say the same thing about Hangman, but it's like Hangman You be like, Tony, we know you're still mad at him about workers' rights and what you led to your favorite toy fucking leave for WWE, or you being forced to have to let him go to WWE. But you gotta get, but whatever. So people that are gonna be there for a long time and be like, all right, we get it. But like, you really gonna look at Christopher Daniels in the face and be like, not Chris Daniels, you really gonna look at all these people backstage and be like, yeah, Ospreay's the best wrestler in the world, but we gotta roll with this shit because we gotta get a Darby Allin because it was his dream to come back after not being on TV for 5 fucking months to win the title. Fuck out of here.
And I always go back to the C2. They had Darby beat Will clean in that. Something about me thinks they're like, that's coming back in some form or fashion. Like whether it's like, I don't know. It just makes me think they're gonna go back to that for some reason. But you know, I wish I could say I feel like Hangman's gonna win, but I just don't see it. Like, and I don't know what he's gonna do at All In at that case. But there's a lot of great wrestlers everywhere. It's just like I think they're scrambling to like figure out where the pieces are gonna fit, and like I don't know where a lot of people are gonna end up at All In. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.